Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Does This Look Off? To you. So, trying to do moved over to Streamlabs, so bear with us. Bear with us if there's the occasional, not Streamlabs, StreamYards, if there's the occasional sort of fluff. I've just, unfortunately, this has a little thing in the corner that tells me the viewer numbers, the live viewers. So far, 0. So,
screaming into the void.
So, yeah, this is not great because we can't do all these great things you can do with StreamYards, like do this.
No. Right.
See?
No.
Oh, God, that's it, yeah. And then, see, if anyone actually bothers to talk to you in the chat, you can actually bring up the messages. But that involves having people. Oh, we've got a viewer.
Jesus.
It's me.
How existential can you get? I got nothing yet.
Right. Let's bring up this.
And we can. Comments. That's an attractive shot I made up.
Now we can get sort of a double screen there. Yes. All very exciting for me.
Brian De Palma would be proud.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I've been doing that. Middle one. Right. So, when we last spoke, because it's been
it was before the Great Sickness.
Before the Great Sickness, we decided we weren't going to say the dreaded line. Well, at least ... because of everything that had happened that week. And it looks like we jinxed it anyway because.
Oh! Lucy's here. Hello, Lucy.
Wave.
Yes.
Audience. So.
Fantastic. Well,
this is it.
So do you want to join in? If you want to come on a camera and chat and talk, or just type so in the chat. Anyway, back to you, John. What were you saying?
So we decided not to say, well, at least nothing could go wrong.
Well, yeah.
Now, but I don't think there's any point in holding back with that, because if you look at, I think the whole issue now is shifted onto something else. What we're looking at now is, in some ways, a bit more frightening. I know it's not over here, and I suppose you could take some small amount of compensation with that, but the footage I've seen on Facebook, the links that I've looked at, and even the news itself have been pretty shocking. So, world pandemics aside, we now have the kind of civil unrest that I feel like we're locked into some dystopian.
It's like a TV movie.
It is.
Multi-part TV movie.
Right. It starts with a pandemic.
The pandemic, yeah.
You never guess what happens in season 2. And that's what it feels like. That's really what it feels like. And obviously, it's disgusting. What's happened is absolutely.
Yeah.
There's no words, is there?
I'm incredibly.
I mean, we remember Rodney King, don't we? We remember that whole fiasco and what happened then, and the riots that followed that. And this is ridiculous. What's happening here is ridiculous.
Well,
the way the police are handling it.
Some police are handling it really well. I mean, I don't want to get into this. Did you see the footage of the local police chief who just
Yeah,
dropped all the batons and marched with them.
yeah.
Yeah,
And there was a beautiful story that somebody put up a link to of a police officer who followed a woman home because she shoplifted a box of eggs.
mm,
And this was all going on while, there was rioting and all the rest of it.
yeah,
And he followed her home because he paid for the rest of her food.
yeah,
And he said, there are times to enforce the law and there are times to enforce humanity.
yeah,
And there are people out there, as with the pandemic, when that happened, when that was seizing the whole world, there were still these fantastic examples of human tolerance and empathy and all the things that made the human race great, And I think we're going to see that with this as well. When this subsides, I don't know. This is a difficult one, isn't it? There's no antidote for intolerance, unfortunately. I mean, I don't know what you sort of feel about from what you've seen. I mean, I know there is a tendency to show the more
well,
sensationalized stuff, but that is
I,
actually happening. You know what
I
I mean?
wonder how much of the actual, how bad the actual riots are.
I suppose you'd only know if you were
I
there.
think that a lot of the peaceful protests
Yeah, yeah, they're
are
not getting.
not getting the coverage.
No, of course not. Of course not. Because why would you want to do that?
And I've seen some odd footage of people leaving pallets of bricks around,
Mm,
vans unloading pallets of bricks.
there is an indication that there was a sense that there was a lot of looting going on. There was a lot of other crimes going on, hiding behind the backdrop of people who were utterly terrified or disgusted or just angry. People get angry, they're not going to act at their best. They're never going to act at their best. And
But no, I mean, I
behind that
one,
veil, you've got people ripping off shops. And his brother was on. There's news footage of his brother, and his brother is basically saying, "Why are you doing this to your own community?
yeah,
Why are you smashing up shops in your own community? You're just making it worse. This is not what my brother would have wanted. There are other ways of fighting this. There are other ways."
I think that a lot of the rioting is actually coming from like outside adjutants,
Well,
and
yeah, there's a suggestion.
they've even
Yeah, right.
again got
Yeah,
I can't remember what it was, some footage of the Proud Boys, which is like
yeah,
a far right
yeah.
organisation,
I'm one
turning up in and causing trouble, like not as far right, but in
of course.
like a false flag type thing.
Yeah, of course.
But
Why
I
not?
mean, I've been watching a lot of them, a lot of the the commentary from the States,
Yeah.
and oh God, I keep forgetting this. It's like with this microphone, it's a real struggle to. Yeah, and there does seem to be a sense that people feel like the strings are being pulled, both on the both on the right and the left.
And the only thing you can hope is it seems to be more and more distrust in the governments across the world, which is, I hope, is a good thing.
The one thing I saw someone state, and it's one of those odd little conspiracy. Notice something. It's like notice all these shops have been looted and rioted. There's been rioted, damage, and looting.
Yeah.
Usually, there's stuff scattered everywhere, and it's all broken. These shops are completely cleaned out.
Yeah.
And it's like
so,
your insurance doesn't cover you for riot damage,
no, of course,
but it does cover you for theft.
Yes. And I noticed a lot. I noticed a lot of shops that seem to be boarded up, and that I was like, hang on a minute, how quickly have these been boarded up, and who's done it? I know they do board up shop fronts, obviously, when the windows have been smashed, but it didn't seem to tally with the amount of time that would take under normal circumstances.
But a great big insurance payout for cleared out
Oh
stock
yeah, of course.
would solve a lot of the problems businesses
Well,
are
yeah,
facing
yeah.
about
My
the
business
shutdown.
my business has had to lock down for 2 months. Oh no, only stock's been nicked. Oh well, here's a big payout for it. I think what was interesting was what 2000 AD were talking about in terms of they were comparing Donald Trump's speech about sending in the National Guard and sending in armed police. And they went,
Oh yeah,
they sort of drew a comparison to Mega City 1, saying this is a bit frightening if you look at what he's doing. He didn't say I am the law as such, but I mean he's no Chief Judge Faro, definitely not. But they were sort of saying this ties in. You know, they made a cross reference to the block riots, and if you remember, and this is not to belittle what's happened at all, but the reason block mania started, obviously the real reason was because a contaminant had been put in the water that would cause people to get
and
aggressive.
who was that by?
Yes,
The Russians.
yes, yes. However, the incident
Right.
that sparked it off was a lot more trivial than what's just happened. You know,
Yeah.
the incident that sparked it off was someone drops an ice cream cone out of a window, and it lands on a woman who's walking past, and she suddenly finds herself getting very angry and going to a city death meeting. And if you remember, city death are kind of like each block has its own defense unit because the blocks are so big. They house so many people, and then of course it sparks off these block wars, which just get bigger and bigger and bigger, which then become the sort of smoke screen, if you will, for disabling the city. Until of course the judges work out what's going on. So yeah, the 2000 AD folk that were sort of talking about it were saying, you know, this is scary when we see bits of our comic that we wrote many years ago suddenly appearing in real life. And I'm not berating what's happened. I'm not trying to belittle it or turn the volume down on it. I think it just goes to show again that all this stuff we were reading as kids, you know, and even as like teenagers and young adults, these themes we always thought, oh well, they're more warnings than prophecies. I don't think they are prophecies. I think there's too many coincidences for them to be a definite. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean,
the elements that are scaring me do come from books and films and comic books that I read. And I thought, well, this means we've learned nothing then. We've learned all the wrong stuff, you know.
well, it's just kind of predictable how things will go when you put the same stress, these kind of stresses
Yeah,
on the situation.
yeah.
You've got someone in the White House who is incredibly vain
Oh God.
and will challenge, you know, responds to
There's lots of these round the
to
corner. So yeah.
challenges to his ego with extreme measures, and then you've got a violent sort of like powder keg situation, which has been made very difficult because A, people have been contained in off the streets, and B, there's been a lot of economic hardship, and then you've got the underlying issues of race which have never been resolved.
No. So, and if you give that a nice little stir and chuck in a little bit more and you just sit back on it, it kind of writes itself without supervision, almost. I mean, there's a bit in there's a book I've been flipping through here, which is by Albert Camus called The Plague, which is about this mysterious plague that arrives, and this whole bit where they're talking about being exiled into their own homes, and you read it and think it's so there's all this stuff that we've kind of digested over the years, and similarities as well with stuff that's happened previously. We've seen civil unrest before. We've seen civil unrest in this country, Toxteth, Brixton, things that were going on in Northern Ireland.
2012, we had all the riots in 2012.
The riots that nobody knew what they were over. Young people gathering in places because of social media, which allowed them to meet up. That's not to, the demon isn't social media, obviously. But,
well, I remember it was what was it? BlackBerry that they were blaming. BlackBerry Messenger.
Yeah.
Allowed people to coordinate. I didn't know anyone who had a BlackBerry.
Of course, that was it. But I think the big problem you've got is if it is almost one thing after another, which is the way that 2020 seems to be panning out at the minute, just when you think it's all over.
Well, I said there's more to come.
Well, you were saying, weren't you? Do you want to reveal that one?
We've got this. It's a big month for big week for near Earth collisions. We've had 3 yesterday. I think the closest came back from 147,000 miles. The others were around about 2 million miles from Earth, which sort of puts the nearest one in between us and the moon, and the other one's just on the far side of the moon.
Yeah.
And these were tower block size meteors, asteroids, in fact, even. And we've got another big one that's the size of the Empire State Building and the London Eye combined.
Jesus.
And that's going for a near miss again. I think they're predicting 1 or 2 million miles.
We do incident forms at work, and one of the boxes is near miss.
Yeah.
And, you've got to ask, would you be doing an incident form if nothing had happened? So the term near miss doesn't fill me with hope.
Well, I say we've beaten the odds 4 times this week, so just fingers crossed for number 5.
We're done. So just think, Matt. Think back maybe 30 plus years. So I want you to think of a television series where you've got mass civil unrest. You've got a spacecraft that's connected with another spacecraft floating in the atmosphere. And I think if I'm right, they both get destroyed by a meteorite.
Right, we'll drop. Oh, hold on.
Written by Nigel Neal.
No, I was just saying, just keep vague and giving vague hints, and I'm going to try something.
Written by Nigel Neal, and the death of one of his most famous characters. In this.
No, that's a spoiler. That's a spoiler.
One thing people might not know, or one viewer might not know.
Lucy.
Nigel Neal, who gave the world such joys as Beasts, the 6-part TV series, Kinvig, the weird comedy program, which is actually about a guy working in a TV shop who has a nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
I can't mention any of those, but he was also involved in.
It's okay. We're talking about the 1979, wasn't it? Version of
that was it. Yeah. Now there's been a big strike by ITV that year, that summer. ITV had gone off air, and the BBC didn't make any new programs at all. What they actually did, they started showing things like Dr. Finley's Casebook, which my mum and dad remembered, and it was in black and white. And it was like that episode of The Simpsons where Krusty the Clown gets taken off television, because it was the summer. Everyone just started going outside and riding bicycles and making their own petrol bombs and all the other things you do when you're a kid, We didn't really make petrol bombs. We didn't.
Well,
but anyway,
speak for yourself. With a few sort of like little.
We met things that burned. However, the big thing that ITV did was when they came back on air, they said, right, we were going to show this over the summer, I think, but it was a 4-part series. It was a character that was well loved by a lot of people who like science fiction, scientific thrillers. But Nigel Neal had turned up the volume on it to the extent that I think people were actually turning off within the first 10 minutes because it was so gritty.
Yeah.
Are we going to announce what it was?
Yeah, well, I already have done.
Yeah, all right. So, yeah, John Mills playing the part of Quatermass brilliantly. And, yeah, it starts off at a time of civil unrest. Absolutely amazing show. He bumps him off.
Did that come across? Did that come through?
That was just the BBC logo.
No sound.
No sound. Well, I didn't hear anything. I don't know. I can't really see that very well.
Oh, right. I don't think share screen shares sound, but that was the.
That was the start of Quatermass and society.
God, what's this?
Broken down and what's what?
Oh, video stuff coming.
Oh, right.
Right, I'll stop that. I'm getting confused.
But it did start off with 2 spacecraft connecting. Quatermass he's been interviewed on a television program. His daughter's gone missing.
She's joined the hippie cult.
As the footage of the 2 spacecrafts disintegrating is going on behind him, he walks forward to the television screen going, "This is my daughter. Has anybody seen her?"
Yeah.
And they gather at one point on Wembley, I think.
Yeah. Well, it's basically
alien intelligence that's seeking to gain entry to our planet somehow. If I remember right.
What it is it's some cosmic entity that basically just feeds off people, and it's last time it was around was sort of like in the Neolithic era.
Yeah, which is why they gather at one point. They keep going on about the Ringstone Round, don't they?
Yeah, and basically it lures people to a place and then just skips them all up to eat them.
Yeah, it's kind of like a reverse rapture.
Well, I don't know. It's not so far from the real rapture. It could be what the rapture is.
Yeah.
The rapture could be lunchtime.
But again, we're getting these reference points to things we saw when we were little. It's a bit scary. I did think Elon Musk was going to be a bit more flamboyant.
Oh, did you watch the space launch?
No, it didn't work, so I missed it.
It was really.
When I got back, I saw the footage. So.
It was it was really kind of exciting, and I love the design on the spaceship as well. I thought it was
weird looking thing.
Yeah, it had like lots of like lots of lots of sort of curves and sleek design and unnecessary bits that are just there for the aesthetic.
But they were going to take off. I think was it a Friday night they were going to take off, but there was a thunderstorm, so they couldn't.
Yeah.
Reschedule it. So I just went to bed thinking maybe it will never happen, and then it happened while I was at work, so I missed it. But no, fair play to it, And that was the other thing I noticed. Again, dear old Doland was going, "Oh, it's great for America." And well, you haven't actually done anything, mate. You just sat in your bunker, haven't you? Which is great.
Bunker boy, yeah.
Bunker boy, yeah.
Yeah, no, but see, you can see what I mean, sort of. With I'm getting the hang of this now, so I can. No, that's not right.
I need a flipping haircut. I just realised looking at this images.
Yeah. So there we can see the.
Yeah. It's not. It's a lot more. science fiction-y. Is that a is that a word? Do you know what I mean? It looks like a spaceship. The rockets of
Flying to BBC sort of like 1980s level special effects.
slightly there.
It's flying at you.
Yeah, look at that. But yeah, you're right. There's these really interesting sort of bits to it. But yeah, it's a lot more fun to look at than the Apollo mission,
Yeah.
which were just like big fireworks, weren't they? I mean, like, nothing to them. They didn't look futuristic enough. Is what I'm trying to say.
No. They didn't even have retro chic.
That bit in the in Futurama where Mark is going on about why all the robots have got antenna, and she says most people think it was to make them look more science fiction-y, but really it's so I can control them. So yeah, that's got bits on it that looks like it might do something. I was expecting it to split open. And
Yeah. What I thought was great was the fact that they caught the first stage.
Yes.
So they can reuse it.
Oh yeah, it all fell back. It's all that I did notice that on the news. That like usually that just ends up as a piece of junk, but it's like no, we can use it again. It's functional, isn't it? They can stick it all back together, and NASA have just been chucking. Forget it, broken now. Can't use it. It'll fall.
But no, it's the fact that they're reusable.
Yeah. Well, he's aiming for more commercial travel, isn't he? He's not aiming for just to use it.
Well, that's it. It's a long-term project. It's
Of course, he's gonna. Oh, look at that! We've got dinosaurs on it now.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Right.
They're actually the first Jurassic Park film standard now.
Right.
Oh,
now that should do stuff now.
Are they gorillas at the bottom?
Sorry, I was just... Yeah. Just leave it. Yeah.
Let that dry out. That's beautiful.
Yeah, please, yeah. Sorry, I'm just getting from the studio floor. I'm just getting
studio manager there.
Look. Make it do stuff.
Make it do a backflip. Can it? Does it?
I can't do. It's they're free roaming and they've got natural instinct. So.
Oh right, that's good. I was watching footage of the little robot they sent to the Japanese astronaut. I don't know if you've heard of him. It's called Kirobo.
No, I've not.
The full-size Kirobo is probably I'm trying to get my hands in, but he's probably about that big, the full-size one. And they sent him up to keep the astronaut company. Where you can get a little one that's sort of yay big, and you carry him round in this sort of little carry case. And he's very advanced. He's a lot more advanced than any of the robots I've got. He can kind of remember stuff. Now, obviously, the footage is he's talking in Japanese, sorry, to a Japanese lady who's told him she likes a rice omelette, and then a couple of days later, he remembers she's liked a rice omelette, and he says to her, "Why don't you have a rice omelette?" But the other thing that was really cool that he could do, he got some level of recognition of human expression. So she sat there smiling at him, holding him in her hand, and he said, "You look very happy. What fun and exciting things have happened to you today?" And then she kind of frowns at him, and he says, "Oh no, what's wrong?" And that's just really cool. And then I looked at how much he cost. Me and Niall were like looking. He's not that expensive. I thought, thousands. He's hundreds. He's not thousands. But there's quite a few developments now that have gone on with sort of robots you can buy for your household. One that me and Niall were looking at, we agreed was just damn creepy. It looked like a sock with eyes, and it just moves around the house of its own accord, saying things like "close the door." No, I don't want that in my life. But some of the more smaller ones, the technology and the software that they're giving you, the recognition packages that they're being fitted with, are the same as the ones they're using for the larger models. So the argument is that these things that are about this big are as advanced as the robots you would have had maybe 15 years ago. So even poor old Asimo's out of date now. He's still walking around and he's still struggling with stairs, but he's out there somewhere. But the interesting thing was there's about 9 or 10 that they recommend to have as a piece of technology in your home. And they're being marketed not so much as robots, but as a change in an advance to your lifestyle. And it's like, you'll accept this cute little thing and it will become a member of the family. Some of them are even sort of reminding people what the schedules are. They can interact with software on computers. Gee, not that robot. That shit. Lucy.
Seven's Arc 7.
Seven's Arc 7 falls into the category of the crap robot. Along with Metal Mickey and I'm sorry, K9, it's a car battery. What are they doing now?
I don't know.
I don't know what moment there.
They've got natural instincts, so the dinosaurs chasing the air.
Yeah, the pteranodon's not really getting involved very much there.
No.
It's kind of hovering.
Oh, look at him! He's giving it a right old punch now.
Oh, this is it.
We could bet on this.
We have little Reuters at the bottom. I
wonder what else we've got. We can.
This next week,
has he knocked him out?
He's KO'd.
So we think we've saw a giant monkey. It's like Godzilla. Godzilla. It's like King Kong. Sorry.
Yeah, the gorilla is now mooning the screen.
And we've lost it. We've lost the giant.
It's dead. We're
gonna have to bring something else in.
Get a Triceratops in. Those things are.
Right. Okay. Triceratops.
Yeah. See how that fares.
Dinosaurs.
Yeah, I think Triceratops.
Right. We've got Triceratops, but he's not very big.
No,
so we'll make him.
It's kind of that's better.
But we'll better make the monkey a bit bigger as well.
Yeah.
And just to something else. What can we do? Animals, plants, dinosaurs, robots, birds.
Yeah.
All right. That's.
There is.
I don't think there's any plants. A snowman.
Yeah.
That famous plant.
Yeah. That's made entirely out of water. That's good. That's very festive. I'm not sure. Confused the hell out of the dinosaur because they, of course, they wouldn't know what to go on, would they?
This stream is not turning into.
What is this white stuff that is cold? What is cold? Would they get cold? There's a very cool program on, I think it's BBC4 called Unprecedented, which is basically all done through computer screens, phones, things like Zoom and all the rest of it. It's short plays. Some are about 10 minutes long, some are slightly less, all to do with what's going on in the world right now. It's well worth a watch. I think there's 5 episodes, but each episode is divided up. So I'm not sure how they sort of put it together either. They must have put it together the exact way that it's filmed. It must have been rehearsed and filmed using the technology that we're using now, really. But some of them are really good. It's called Unprecedented, and it's on BBC4. And like I say, it's little vignettes of people's lives during the whole lockdown. So obviously, it's heavily wow. There's an army of things at the bottom there. What else?
Yeah.
Just really is getting into Battle of the Planets now. You need a big monster that's being controlled by one thing.
Oh, I don't know. I think I need to quit this one out because it's just going to go. Sorry, I've got so distracted. Oh God!
This is epic. I think the gorilla is now acting like it's in charge of this army, which is
they've gone now. So we've just got these.
Just a snowman. A snowman. He's going.
The snowman doesn't seem to do anything.
Well, I suppose we mentioned it about Mel.
Yeah, animation.
Right, get it.
I can make it spin.
That's good. Most snowmen can't do that, so it's.
Oh, again, they've all gone.
If that's visited in many years' time, once it's on the internet.
Oh, so yeah, sorry, I got completely distracted.
I'm sorry. No,
we're talking about robots that recognise faces. That's about the last thing.
Yeah. There's the technology they're now using for these robots that you can buy. They program them to sort of pick up on facial expressions. Now, I don't know what they're actually going to do when they realise he's sad, other than say why he's sad. I mean, they're not going to be able to counsel you. Yeah, I mean, I'm not ruling it out. You know my theories on singularity, which I keep hoping that will just kick in.
Well,
they're here. They're come to save us. But,
now you're talking about there's a digital assistant there, but I have no idea how she's supposed to work.
There's an anime girl there now doing. She's great. We should just leave her there. I'm sure she's happy. Get the snowman back there.
Action.
Sure.
Yeah, so all very. And set an alarm clock as well. So.
Sorry.
So yeah. So just like this is the worst fail stream of this. This is like because I'm just getting sidetracked.
We always do. I don't think we need to change. If we scripted it, it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
So I think just to kind of summarise, sort of.
Sorry.
Where we're at. We really have got distracted by this lady. It's great. She's bouncing about the screen now. This is amazing.
Yeah. Sorry. Anyway.
Do you know what this reminds me of? What was the beat 'em up game that you bought?
Which one? Dead or Alive?
It was one of the ones that we couldn't read the instructions at all, but we got the general idea. And I think we spent an hour just watching what the characters did. We didn't even do anything with them. And we wanted to make her jump up and down. Just
sounds like Dead or Alive.
Yeah. It was the graphics on that one were much more
blocky, but
crisper than, because we've been playing Tekken, haven't we? And Tekken 3 and all the rest of it. We had a phase, I don't know who started it, of getting into games where you could just get a robot alligator to fight, Japanese waitress, and she just kicked the shit out of it because someone worked out whatever her secret move was, and that was it. And she just floored every opponent. Like this all over again. Get to do a backflip. I don't know why I want.
I've given her the evening off.
She's got the knife.
Sorry, I got completely distracted with all these like little, sort of like. I intended to seamlessly introduce them into the stream, but I didn't. I've sort of been working on this stuff with a desktop and that.
Well, this is a lot more high tech. That's what it is. We're kind of making it up as we go along. I've got no input into it whatsoever, so I can't really complain.
Well, it's a pity that the sound from this didn't come through onto the stream because she was doing a lot of talking in Japanese.
See, that's what you need. You interact with characters from this world.
But she won't interact with the dinosaurs and things.
That's not fair.
No, because she's a different program, and that other thing with lots of robots.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have a look at setting those up properly, and getting the entire sort of
shamelessly drift things past the view of the camera, some of which have been posted up on Facebook. That is.
Anna, wait.
Almost finished.
I can hold on. No,
so,
I want to give it.
Yeah.
To you.
So
wait.
I'm
trying to get.
There we go.
I should be able just to focus on you, can't I? I don't know how I would do that.
I'm trying to hide behind it.
Oh, excellent! That's fantastic.
So yeah, obviously, if I move it forward, it goes out of focus. But the detailing has obviously gone through the roof now because I've had time to do it.
Right.
And where's another one? Speaking of robots, here's the kind of right. I'll go.
Just hold on 1 second. Oh wait, no, I was gonna bring them up onto the screen via Facebook, but that is just too bloody complicated for me right now. That is great. That
these kind of I've actually got hold of some of these. I can't plug these because they are calligraphy pens. They've got completely different set of nibs. They're like brush nibs. Which come to a really, really fine point. So they're obviously used for doing that sort of beautiful, flowing, detailed handwriting, which I'm not using them for. I'm using them to draw with. So I'm getting some quite interesting shapes kind of coming out when I'm doing preliminary sketches.
Yeah.
Things. And the thing is, I've noticed when I'm scanning them in, this ink is completely different to the ink from these, which obviously look exactly the same, but these are the drawing pens that I use, which have got a pigment ink in. This is a different type of ink. So with the drawing pens, obviously, as you'll know yourself, you start off at, believe it or not now, there's a 0.03, which is the thinnest line possible.
Yeah.
And then goes all the way up to 1.2. These start with a thick brush one, which looks a little bit like one of those eyeliner pens, and go down to a fine one. But you only get 5 sizes, but it's how hard you press on the pen defines the line. So eventually, these wear out because you're naturally going to knacker the brush up, but you've got to break the brush in to start with anyway. But they do come with, this is like I'm doing an infomercial now.
Yeah.
I can't pronounce the name of the company because it's the company's Chinese, so I can't read any of it. But you get these little tiny ink refills.
Oh,
so
that's lovely.
Yeah, you just kind of drop it in. It's got like I'm not going to turn that off because I'll end up covered in it. But that's really cool because usually when you get a set of drawing pens, they dry up. You throw them away. You don't.
Yeah. Well, I never get to that point because I've always sort of like completely shredded the
So I highly recommend them, all you budding artists out there. But just go on Amazon and put in brush pens, and it'll bring up all different kinds, and they're quite cheap as well. I think a pack of 5 will cost you 8 or 9 quid. Which, if you consider a pack of 4 drawing pens, can cost you anything up to 15 quid, depending on what make they are. But I don't know what make these are. I don't know if I can get this into view to sort of show you that it's kind of. No, I can't. But yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's not. It's not.
That's a coded message to the agent, the
Yeah,
sleeper agent.
There you go.
A lot of Chinese born identity-esque sleeper agents now have just like jumped up.
It just looks really nice that it's written in Chinese. There is some readable bits on, like the serial number MS202. But
That's another code. That's activate the bomb.
Yeah. It's been nice.
Release COVID-20.
We're going to get done. Right. Obviously, the good old reliable Sharpie as well, which is this is the tech that I use, and this lovely thing, which I would recommend if anyone's going to.
Hold on now, Cap.
This is the metal ruler with the pad on the back of it, which is really.
Oh,
nice.
now, as our technical drawing tutor at school used to say, no, it's not, and he would take a pound note out of his pocket and he'd go, "That's a ruler. That's a rule."
Right, this rule.
And he got used to wind him up so much. He used to get so mad.
Well, that doesn't make any sense because there's the rhyme, isn't there? A king is a ruler is a foot, and a foot stinks. Which is, you don't have that rhyme at school.
No.
Someone would say to you, "You're a king," and then they'd say, "A king is a ruler's a foot, and a foot stinks."
Ah, right. I was thinking more like a no, I want. Like,
where is he gone then?
If a king rules a kingdom, and a
queendom.
Yeah. A king rules a kingdom. What's it? A dictator runs. Yeah, no, like a king. A dictator runs a dictatorship. A king rules a kingdom. Who rules a country?
Very good.
I'm just doing so badly with any sort of delivery of either jokes, technical, anything today. It's the recovery from the COVID.
Yeah, Matt has.
I've had the.
These are the unmarked heroes of this story, and you need to pay attention to this course.
I turned my biofactory into an antibody production machine. So I'm ready to have my plasma drained so that wealthy people can be old wealthy people can be kept alive by my blood. I don't know if that's actually going to happen now. I heard some conspiracy theory.
I wouldn't rule anything out. It's all 5G.
Yeah.
However, if you are going to go straight line, you're not going to do it very often. I want sponsorship of this company. The great thing about this is when you're using ink, because it's got this lovely pad underneath here.
Yeah.
It lifts the rule slightly over the paper, so you don't get those horrible ink splotches.
Aren't you supposed to turn the ruler upside down? A normal rule. Upside down.
No, no, it's no markings on the other side, you see. It's got this nice strip of felt.
Well, if it's clear, it's got.
Yeah, but this isn't. This is made of metal. This money was spent. Two quid off the internet. This 2 quid.
Do I have something like that in this pencil case? I don't think so. I've got pencils.
And if you're going to buy a pencil
Right.
sharpener, buy one that looks like Robbie the Robot.
Oh, excellent.
So I'll take his head off like this. And there inside is the pencil sharpener. But the great thing is he's got a key, so his little legs move. But when you're sharpening the pencil, you also wind him up. So he walks across the table, vomiting everywhere. It's delightful. But this is interesting. Well, it's not, but right.
Right.
So these two,
Oh,
they do communicate with one another, and I left them on the other night. So there he is.
So they're one of those. I've seen the
Yeah. Well, there's two of them. So if you get them to face one another, they sort of start chatting away. And if you leave them on all night, you wake up at about 2 o'clock in the morning and think, why can't I hear music playing? Because they play each other and they do a little dance. It's quite creepy. But yeah, there they are. They're,
do you not reckon it would have been better off if I got one of them as well and we just put them on two?
we could have left them having a little chat. Because when they do, if you listen, they'll start chatting. Their eyes are flashing, so they're kind of. Can you hear that?
Mm. I wonder how they trigger it though. Is it what sort of sensor they've got in them?
I have no idea. But they chat away for ages.
It probably make more sense as well.
I don't know what they're saying.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. They probably make more sense to anyone who happens to have the misfortune to watch this at any point than we do.
Yeah. Oh, they have those. Now it's getting good. I'm not going to bring every single toy robot in the house out. There's probably actually one behind me.
I don't know if I've got any gimmicks and gizmos down here. Hold on, that. This is what I can do for excitement, for on-screen excitement.
Come on, this is like show and tell. It's like swap shop.
Right.
We'll swap.
Let's just see now. The exciting thing. Let's see if I can get it up to my.
You've got pulse oximeter.
Yeah. Let's see what it's gonna.
Right. So
hold on. I'll turn it round so it's.
Right. So your O2's 97.
Yeah.
And your pulse is 81.
85.
84, 85. 87.
Yep.
Stop holding it. That's good. There's
yep. But when I was ill, I was testing myself 2 or 3 times a day.
Never do that.
Well, I just wanted to monitor it just in case, especially when I talked to doctors, they said just keep testing it, and if you dip, then get back in touch with us. But
if your oxygen dips below 94, that's not good. You need above 94% O3 saturation, ideally, but there might be conditions that interrupt that.
But I found it was really odd when I had it because I was trying to describe it to the doctor, and I said, I've never actually done this, but it's what I imagine it's like. So I feel like I'm on top of a mountain, like Everest, and I've got a deep breath, but it's the air's thin.
Stomach at the back, yeah.
But it's like I breathe in, and I don't feel like I've got a full.
No.
And then I would have to breathe in again.
Yeah.
But that's when I knew it had gone because.
I reckon you definitely sound like it because that whatever it was you had was definitely respiratory.
Yeah.
And I think this is now turned into dialing with your health condition.
Well, I did actually put in the description COVID survivor stories. So like.
Well, I've got me.
So when it gets into circulation and people search it,
so that's what it looks like. That's the test kit.
Excellent. So what?
In the manner of
stick that right up your nose.
This is a sort of a Stanley Kubrick. Look at that. Get some Strauss on. There's a very, very, very long Q-tip, which
Yeah.
is that long from my thumb to my finger there. And there's a plastic tube. You get a set of instructions. So what I'm going to do tomorrow, you stick it up your nose and you stick the other bit down your throat. You drop it in the tube. You send it off. You get a courier to come pick it up. So there's some poor guy whose job in life is to drive around in a van picking up tubes of people's sputum.
Well, he's got to be luckier than that person in India, hasn't he? Who had the infected COVID samples, blood samples, and got set on by a pack of wild monkeys who stole all the infected samples.
Well, didn't they also eat the blood as well? When they blood
I think they just flung it at people. Flung infected blood at people.
Right, so they didn't drink it.
No, they weren't. They were just doing it out of badness.
So we're not heading towards another sci-fi film yet.
No.
Just chuck them all in. We're going to find out what the real reason people like secret sauce is. It's going to Big Mac sauce is made of people.
Right, I just need to grab something now. See if I can reach over and. I think as we're coming to the end of the mysterious box of mysteries.
Right, what is these the comics stuff?
No. This is something to bring the stream to a conclusion with, and see what's going to happen. Because I think we try again next week, and we'll schedule another episode 4 for next week.
We've managed to hack this out for an hour.
We have nearly to an hour, but I have had an idea.
Go on.
Like a gimmicky idea of how we could end the streams.
Sponsorship.
No.
What?
We can delve into the future.
Oh, you're going to have the tarot cards.
I'm going to, especially the Gothic tarot.
Right. For anyone who ever looks at me, right? Matt tarot cards involving myself, right? A McDonald's milkshake machine was interrupted because during a session one afternoon round at his mum and dad's house, we were dicking about with tarot cards. A wasp landed on the tarot cards, and we made this stuff called Doom Juice that was kept in little.
They were the original Gothic tarot cards that you made.
Well,
do you remember that?
Yeah, Dominion and
Bridges Burning,
which is a long story, and
which we'll have to save for next time.
We'll save that one for next time. See, because there was a card called Dominion, we thought we'll get a few goth songs in, and we got Bridges Burning in by the Mission because we knew somebody that suited that song because of something that had happened to them. So there's a little teaser trailer for what's to come. So this is not going to work out well.
But let's see. What do we think is going to happen?
I don't know. I always thought I'd have something to do with the end of the world, but I'm not prepared for now. But
all blank cards come up. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So
we'll get the Queen of Wands. We'll be fine.
Let's just see what is going to happen during the next week.
Are we asking? Is that the question?
Yeah.
It's going to happen next week. Right.
Right. Here we go. Ooh. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right.
So you're doing the classic 5 card.
That's the present. This is the journey from the present to the future.
So how far?
And I've just got until our next show. In between now and the next show. So I've got a little reference here in case, because it's a long time since I've looked at tarot cards, just in case there's any I've forgotten, which will be most of them.
I can remember we seem to get.
The 2 of Pentacles. for the
Right.
past. Ooh. So,
We need-
and now I know the pentacles are to do with associated with practical, mundane, not mundane, shouldn't we say, money,
Humdrum.
that kind of stuff.
Economy.
So, pardon?
The economy.
The economy. Yeah. So
Walk
this is what.
everywhere. That's
And
what
what are twos? Oh God, I'm bloody right at the back. Two of Pentacles. That's not the right one. Two of Pentacles.
these are the undertakers.
Recreation and celebration. Ah,
Oh, there you go. That's great.
that was in the past.
Oh wow. Well, we
Balance
did.
against minor troubles and frustrations. So we were in a very centered position in the past.
Okay.
Uh,
I don't
but there was the arrival of news or a message.
go on.
Well, the Four of Pentacles, which has got some very booby goth lady on it.
My word, she went back for seconds. Right, okay.
So the Four of yes. I managed to lose that page there.
Audience member.
Gifts, legacies, inheritance,
Oh,
an attainment of wealth or power. So again, this is in the past. So we
three.
went from a position of balance and stability, and then a booby goth lady appeared with bountiful.
I got 50 quid refund from something which I spent on the bill.
That sounds good. That sounds like it could be it.
Not records bill.
Oh, but it may lead to greed or spoiling.
Well, I've spent it now, so there's not to that.
So that leads to the present.
Right.
The Knight of Cups. Now, the cups are associated with emotions and feelings, but not like fiery feelings, like which would be wands. It's all Nine of Arcana as well. So, Knight of Cups, graceful, sensitive one, questing for love. One who also has difficulty making commitment. The arrival of an invitation or message. So there's another message coming, and that's now. And that message is going to be coming in the future, the near future, which is.
So far, it's pointing towards
the Nine of Cups.
Goldfrapper's the next Prime Minister, which I'm quite with.
A good omen, satisfactual, sexual desires sated, physical and emotional fulfillment, success, renown, contentment.
Is this a global thing?
Well, I don't know. I only asked. I said, what's going to happen during the next week? I should have perhaps been more specific.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it looks like that message is going to come along. Someone's going to swipe left or swipe right, or or maybe it's to do with like something like a plague of spiders that are all going to get like the end away and breed thousands and millions of sexually sated spider eggs. We will find out with the last card. The Knight of Pentacles again. Which means a person who friends can rely on, patient, conventional nature, responsible, eager to serve, and able to endure hard work. That doesn't sound like anyone we know, does it?
Well, we could apply some of those principles. There is
conventional nature, responsible.
Right. Okay. Well, that ain't me. So
able to endure hard work. So that's me out on all three. So just who is this mysterious person we are talking about? Who is this person who will see if we're going for global? Who will? There is someone coming.
There is
to deliver us from this crisis.
There is one.
And they are.
Force.
Oh yeah, you know who has the magic 8-ball?
Yeah, but I've got to ask this one question, and what? It's the magic 8-ball, which is the source of all knowledge. Should we just be blunt and ask it if things are going to get any better in a D-Ream kind of way?
Are things going to get any better?
Are things going to get better? Just in general.
It's going to blow up now.
I'm covered in boiling. Right, okay, so you turn it over like that and you gaze into it. It says absolutely.
Ah, well, that's it. There is a saviour figure coming.
So with these two combined
prophecies, there is in the next week a figure will be revealed. A charismatic, charming, alluring figure who will
knows Alison Goldtrap.
And who will lead the world out of its current malaise, or at least for the next week. However, that was next time.
We're not responsible.
We shall.
Okay. We need a theme tune.
Yes, I need to figure that out as well.
I don't know. Vandervolt. What do you think? Columbo, the music.
Trouble is, everything like that gets your copyright struck. It's just terrible.
I'm gonna confess. I'm not gonna do it. I rewrote the Umbongo theme with Niall about coronavirus. We're not doing it. Anyway.
Oh, we could. I suppose we could try and hum high level.
I'm not joining in some horrible. Whatever, you're musically more adept than I am. You can play keyboards and things.
I can't. I can do it. It's like everything else. I can do it if I synchronize a computer to do it slowly.
I can do Transmission by Joy Division, the bass line, and Lucretia, My Reflection, and the Dead Kennedys, which is any Bauhaus bass line backwards. Anyway, is that it for tonight?
I think that's it. I think we've got. Oh,
we can't say good night.
No, it's like this.
It
might have been off by some because I left I left two of the cards in there, like just like advertising. Rules for gin and oh god. Right.
If you like tarot cards, you might also like these other things.
Yeah.
Get a Ouija board.
Goat intestines.
We'll
try that next week. We'll try and no, I'm not trying.
We've done Ouija boards as well, man. Do you know that?
Oh God, yes, I do remember
really
that.
Just dabble with these things. God knows what.
Well,
Satan knows what we've unleashed.
I think it's a good gimmick. I think people will tune in once they know that they're going to get the prediction of the future.
What are they going to do this week? Well, this week we brought in the Goat Mendes himself to enable us to give you an accurate prediction.
Yeah, and we summoned some dinosaurs.
Yeah. and a Japanese lady.
Yes. And I'm going to get a better handle on all this work. So, God, that's all gone over.
I think we've covered every niche there. I don't think anyone's been left out. You know what I mean? We haven't excluded anyone. We never do. You know, particularly tonight. I think that's one thing we can take from this is that we've pretty much gone off on the worst tangent ever.
Right, so I've put some robots on to say goodbye now. Just flip over the screen.
It's been a delight.
There we go. God knows. Right, well that's it. We've streamed for an hour and 10 minutes. It's been a little bit chaotic, this one, because I've been distracted.
That was great.
I think we scared Lucy off, or bored Lucy off.
We've gone for that now. What were they doing?
But we could always cut it down into that highlight clips.
We can.
And stuff.
I think we should do that for the box set.
Yeah. Director's commentary with
us talking crap over us
talking crap. Yeah. A crapception. Yeah.
Yeah. They're talking about what they're talking about, and it's making less sense. It's like double.
Right. Oh God, no, wrong button. I'd just like to be able to press the right button. There we go.
There's an army of robots there. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure.
Right, so I'll kill the stream now, and we'll see you. When do we reckon we'll do the next one?
I've got a week off next week, so we could do it every night, boy.
Yeah, should we try and do that?
Good way. Should we just keep it running?
Can do a really long stream.
For 7 days.
Oh,
I will be up for that. It's gonna get.
I think we should do that. Yeah.
Definitely again next week though, because I've got a week off work, so anytime. You might be invaded by Niall as well. He might get involved. We could get him playing some tunes. It'd be lovely.
Excellent. Right, I will see you. Oh, no, sorry. I'm forgetting. We're actually supposed to be having an audience here. Well, thank you for viewing. I'm sorry this has been a bit chaotic, but as I said, we are pushing the bounds of new technology, as you can see.
Elon Musk will be
retro thing, robots. Yeah, so they got robots. So next time we will no doubt have more stuff. Well, I can take a picture of it. Oh God. Anyway, so we will see you next time. Sometime next week, we'll post it to us. Hopefully, we will get and retain more viewers. But
we're gonna do it.
Should we have? Do you want to say some final words?
I'll just say that I'm not going to say anything. The world is a strange and beautiful place, and let's try and remember the things that are important to each and every one of us, and just stay safe.
Yep, sounds a noble. Yeah, sounds noble.
Yeah.
Right. Goodbye, everyone. Oh, for fuck's sake. Sorry.
We're got.